it seems so incredibly wrong. It's against my religion, it's against my morality, it's against my sense of basic fairness and love for humankind. It seems fundamentally unchristian. I've learned in 55 years of living what marriage really means to me. I've been married to my husband for 21 years. I have a 16-year-old daughter. I am the child of 2 marriages. My father and mother were married for about 25 years before they separated. As we were growing up, it became increasingly apparent to me as the oldest daughter and as the one who was closest to my mom that this was not a marriage that was personally fulfilling or solid for either one of them. There was quite a lot of conflict all those years and a lot of unhappiness on both their parts and a fair bit of hostility as they slogged along trying to make it work. They never did divorce because my father never had the right to remarry because his new relationship after my parents separated was with another man. My father and Arthur, his soulmate and the love of his life, have been married now, in my mind, for about 30 years. So their relationship, which to me is what a true marriage is about and should be about, has lasted even longer than my parents did. It has been infinitely more fulfilling, more harmonious, more authentic. More of a model to all of us kids of what marriage should really be.
Hello?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Yeah, hi there.
Yeah, hi. Well, I'm finally getting around to calling you up. Hello. How is it that your common law marriage works so well? What do you do to be married?
I plunge in on that one. Okay. When Frank and I got together, right off at the beginning, I had said to him, and I think he said similar things to me, I have a problem with this, or I have a problem with that, and we have confronted issues, and sometimes that's painful, but more often than not, the fact that we confront issues has left the rest of the relationship really marvelous. You know, that the thing that people did is that they got married, and that they grew up, they got married, they dated, what have you, and they married someone of the opposite gender. You know, and that's the way it was. And there was, at least out in the country where I grew up, even though it was in Massachusetts, it still was not the big city. If I ever thought about it at all, the most that I thought was another one of the popular beliefs of the time, which was that young men often went through a phase, sort of like a homosexual phase, or a sexual phase before eventually, getting into a conventional marriage. And so, gave very little thought to, what was happening with me, what have you, and never would have had any thought whatsoever of getting into anything other than a conventional marriage. And your take on Mom's and my relationship was painfully accurate. And what I was referring to specifically was your statement that we seem to bring out the worst in each other.
Mm-hmm.
And because Mom could make me angry in a way that nobody else in my entire life, before or since, has ever been able to do. And I've always disliked being angry. But she could just get me so angry that I'd just lose it.
What comes back to me more than anything is what an epiphany it was in all our lives for Dad to make the decision to live with the kind of integrity that you have lived with since 1981.
Yeah.
And that enabled every single one of us to think about our lives, who we want to be, what kind of values we want to live, really trying to be true to ourselves and true to the people that we love. And I really see you and Mom as having been more true to yourselves and more true to each other after you separated and after you met Arthur, and Arthur really helped with that.
Yeah, well, he did indeed. And, God, I choke up as I listen to you because, I realize that, for a bright, at least relatively sophisticated human being, how ignorant I was, and God knows that I wish that things could have been different, and especially could have been different for you and the rest of you kids. After I made that decision, came to that realization, I found that much of the curse of my younger year had been this business of being labeled and harassed and what have you as a sissy. This is the point in my life at which I felt all of a sudden, more or less, felt masculine in a way that I never had before. And I realized that what it was that I was finally being absolutely, totally, uninhibitedly honest with myself. Open with myself and honest with myself, and had so not only my own whatever self-love I had, but my own respect.
Yeah. All right. Love you.
Love you too, Darren.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, those are my dads.